Hey all, this is Greg Pizzetti. We're here at J-Tech in Jacksonville, Florida. We're going to take you through some differentials today, talking about drive lines. And this is where the drive line actually terminates and we start sending power out to the wheels. So I'm going to flip the camera around here for you. We're going to show you what a differential has inside of it, the differences between an open and a closed differential, i.e. a limited slip, and what that means for your vehicle. So, take a look. Alright, so right here we got a differential opened up. That way we can see all the innards of it. Got it on a stand, no wheels, anything like that on it. So we can go ahead and start checking everything out. Now first we'll talk about the housings. Obviously we got the differential cover off of here. And we have it connected to the axle tubes. Now this housing lets you drop some gear oil in here to keep everything lubricated. Including running down the axle tubes for this differential. So what we got in here is, in these tubes, we have the axle running into the differential. And we'll just take it from the wheel end out. So obviously this is where your wheel is going to be mounted. You got the axle coming in here, which is splined in. Now in here we got some shim packs that keep the axle spaced correctly. We got our caps that actually hold this whole chunk inside the differential housing. And then coming on in from that axle, we connect inside of here and we clip in with some C-clips. Now what you're looking at right there, what that axle actually splines into is what we call a side gear. We got one right there and we got another one right there. Now these side gears mesh or make tooth-to-tooth contact with the spider gears up here. The spider gears help balance power between the two axles in the side gears. Now what you're looking at right here seems kind of out of place. This is a closed differential. And what we got right here is basically some spring-loaded tensioners between our clutch packs. Now this being a closed differential allows clutch packs to take over and keep the wheels spinning in the same direction when free. So if I go down here to the wheel end and I start spinning it, we're going to lock up the differential, and you can see that's where our drive shaft would come in. And it keeps both axles spinning just the same. I will let you take a peek at this differential as I do that turning motion. As you can see, there's a little bit of movement there, and it lets our clutch packs lock up. Now this center chunk is directly connected to this helical ring gear. This ring gear receives power coming in from our pinion, which you can see down there. Now that's a hypoid pinion. What that means is that it is actually lower than the actual center of the differential. It sits about there coming into the differential. This will improve torque transfer, make it run smoother, reduce backlash. It's a very, very good setup for your differential to have. And almost all modern differentials will be using some type of hypoid gearing. Now coming out from that pinion gear, we go out into our yoke, which is connected to the drive shaft. So now if we're talking about flow of power, we actually have power coming in from the drive shaft into this yoke. It'll be coming up through your pinion, hitting the ring gear, and then turning the whole chunk in here, your spider gears and your side gears, to power the axles and out to the wheels. Now this is a closed differential. We'll give you a little look at what an open differential looks like and the difference that that has to this. Alright, so now we're over here at Another differential. This one obviously a little bit smaller, probably from a light duty pickup truck or some car. This is an example of an open differential. So we got the differential cover off. Now as you can see inside of here, in this chunk, we don't have the actuators, we don't have the clutch packs or anything like that. It's just simple spiders, side gears, C-clips holding the axles in, spline with the side gears, shim packs. I mean, it's all the same. Caps holding your chunk in, your ring gear, axle tube holding your axles and the lubrication. The main difference in how this differential operates is this. When we spin one axle end one way, because this is not a closed differential, we will see the other axle end spin the opposite way. As you can see with a closed differential, in this scenario, we would have actually seen the spiders and the side gears lock up, and we would have seen this chunk start to turn. The ring gear would have turned, and we would have seen the pinion and the yoke for the drive shaft start to turn as well. So in a closed differential, the good advantage here is that if you start to get wheel slippage, you don't lose all your power. Because in this scenario, whatever wheel has the least resistance gets the most power with an open differential. Torque takes the path of least resistance in this differential. Whereas with our closed differential, it doesn't matter. Torque will be evenly applied to both sides of the differential, to both axles. And in a slipping, low traction situation, you'll be able to pull yourself out. This will give you the famous one wheel peel. You can see we still have a ring gear. We still also have a hypoid pinion gear down here, which goes out and mates up to our drive shaft through the yoke. There you have it. That's an open differential. Alright, so now that we've seen the differences between a closed differential and an open differential, we've gone through, we've seen that they both consist of spider gears, side gears, ring gear, pinion gear. We've got axle shafts in there that are splined down. We've got shim packs and caps that hold the whole chunk in. C-clips to hold the axles in on most of these differentials that we've opened up. And on a closed differential, we also have the clutch packs that keep it locked together. Now that we've gone through all that and you've seen how they are pretty much identical, the main purpose of them that we really have yet to talk about is to provide a final gear reduction before going out to the wheels for your final drive, to increase torque and to evenly divide power between the left and right side of the axle, as well as to make a 90-degree turn in your power. Because from the engine crank back, we are linear and rotary. And once we hit that differential, we're actually able at that point to make a 90-degree turn both to the left and to the right to power the wheel end. The gear reduction that we get is to help increase the torque, and it's a constant gear reduction. I don't really know of any shifting differentials out there. Most of your shifting and changing of gears happens in your transmission through different gear sets or high and low. Basically, a lot of your common differentials, you'll see final drives ranging anywhere from like a 2.1 to 1 all the way up to, say, like a 410 or a 513. So what you get with that, what we're talking about when we say 410, 513, 2.13, what we're really talking about there is the revolutions compared to the drive shaft. So the turns of the drive shaft to the turns of the differential powering the wheel ends. The horn works. So, at this point, thank you for checking out my video. Thank you for checking out these differentials with me. If you have any questions on them, let me know. And thank you. This has been Greg Cassetti at JTech. And I gotta get going to work, man. Stay dirty.